Alinden is in the tight IFS black trunks and Wright is in the looser black trunks. Our referee once more is Mr. Garrett Lyons. Not O'Keefe Phil Campbell calling the action. If you're just joining us, welcome along to Clan Wars 41. Alinden just firing out that jab just to see what Wright thinks of it. And
again, nice head movement being implemented here by Money Mac. Trying to find a home for that stiff jab. I've noticed already Shaun is stepping in a little bit too much with that jab, leaving his lead leg open to a big kick.
Kick by McAlinden, yeah, lands a big shot into the right hand after that. Puts the pressure on Wright up against the cage. Wright fighting for an underhook. Doesn't get it though on the right hand side.
Money Mac needs to change level and get that head underneath the chin of Wright.
McAlinden just going to punish that knee and drive that knee into that tender thigh meat. Garrett Lyons, our referee, just warning McAlinden about his fingers in the cage. Said it's the last warning. Nice right hand off the break by McAlinden. Shaun just trying to fight behind that jab. Trying to feel out the distance. Hasn't engaged yet. Nice stiff jab there though by Shaun Wright.
Pop the head right back of McAlinden. Needs to keep implementing that head movement. It might be the highest I've ever seen McAlinden kick.
He just needs to be careful. He's just standing a stationary target in front of Wright, and Wright looks more comfortable in this boxing range. Switching stance. Young Shaun Wright. Nice work.
Lead hook, yeah.
McAlinden is throwing the more power shots while Shaun Wright is sort of maybe throwing at 70%.
Wright needs to be careful of circling into that big right hand of McAlinden. A couple of times he's continued to circle off in that direction.
But you can't see the difference when the shots are landing from McAlinden. They're a lot stronger. There's more venom in them. Standing a little upright though, keeping his chin high is McAlinden.
Managing to pop that jab off nicely.
I'd like to see Wright mix it up a bit, throwing an inside leg kick in that close range. And why do that when you can land beautiful right hands like that?
Two big straights landed right in the chin of Money Mac, who ate them. Obviously losing all that weight has left him hungry because he was eating those shots.
Looking to tie it up, which will tell you again that them shots were punishing and had an effect. But Shaun Wright, I was just saying I'd like to see him mix it up and throw some leg kicks, maybe to give McAlinden a different look, and then lands two beautiful shots.
Big knee to the midsection from McAlinden.
But that will grow the confidence of Shaun Wright, taking this fight in short notice. Landed big shots that made his opponent change his tact and look to it to engage, and blowing a little heavy, shaking out the hands there is McAlinden. He looks fresh enough going back to the corner, but that will give the young man Shaun Wright some confidence.
Something elemental in the weight cut goes wrong and it can have a detrimental effect on your performance going into the cage.
Shaking out the arms. Once again, James McAlinden looking to, again, that chin is just a little high, Phil, when he throws the jab. He keeps it up there. Nice right hand, and the hands are starting to come fast and furious from Shaun Wright here.
It's almost like the closing stanzas of that first round have given Shaun Wright a little bit of a lift.
Starting to feint to see if McAlinden is biting on them, and at the moment he is biting on them. And again, there's your telltale sign. McAlinden doesn't want to stand and trade no more.
Has the hands, does he have the hands connected, trying to get in on that double? He's very, very upright.
Yeah.
He's not powering in with the legs. The legs are straight. It's the back that's bent. That power for the takedown needs to come from the legs. Trying to get in for a trip, and right now it looks as if Money Mac is in deep waters.
And Wright staying relatively calm here as well. He's not panicking in this position. Nice knee to the body by McAlinden, but Wright's trying to separate McAlinden just clasped onto that forearm, and this is where Wright wants it. This is where he's having his moments. You can see McAlinden is starting to tire. The output isn't as quick. Beautiful. Straight hand for days, Phil, that right hand.
And it is just getting right through the gaps, and McAlinden starting to bite on those feints, presenting the opportunities for Shaun Wright to unleash that straight.
Nice leg kick there by McAlinden, but he needs to start mounting offense rather than, as you said earlier in the card on the fight, Phil, he's reacting a little bit more to what Shaun Wright is offering. Beautiful crisp boxing here by Shaun Wright.
McAlinden's just a little bit too static for my liking right now. I'd like to see him implement some movement.
Beautiful uppercut, left hand into the right, landing on the chin. And McAlinden, he's wearing them. Big shots there by Shaun Wright. Closing the distance. I'd like to see Shaun rip to the body there. The hands were high from McAlinden. If he just dropped to the body, potentially take it away from McAlinden. Blown heavy. And this, I really feel this is a survival clinch more so than an attack of clinch. Crisp strikes by Shaun Wright.
McAlinden trying to mount some offense of his own. Has one underhook, but Wright is doing the right thing, clamping down on that whizzer.
And again, he's staying calm as the young man. Back up against the cage, comfortable defending. Probably going to wait for his moment to try and turn, but McAlinden gets the trip, gets the takedown. What can he do on top here, Phil?
That's absolutely huge for McAlinden.
Just over 20 seconds to go in the second round. This is a big moment for him.
He needs to be selective. He needs to pick his shots. He can't just go hell for leather, but he has opened up Shaun Wright a little bit.
Big end to the second round, potentially stealing it as well here.
Well, as we so often see in mixed martial arts, it's the guy that finishes the round strongest that we usually see in the ascendancy in the eyes of the judges, but that was big for Money Mac.
But McAlinden, as much as we were talking about the confidence Wright would have got from the strikes in the first round, McAlinden is going to have gained confidence from that takedown. A big finish to the second round. All to play for here in the third and final.
It really comes down just to how bad do you want it. Right now, the arms of both guys are bound to feel very, very heavy.
Nice calf kick by McAlinden. You can see the calf of Wright starting to wear it. Sort of turned him as well, that kick. Goes for it again, and you'd be half terrified when you hear that slap over recent events happening in the UFC to a couple of fighters.
And those hands and arms of McAlinden right now are bound to feel like lead.
Bull rushes there to get the takedown, and he gets it through sheer momentum.
Sheer dogged determination, and this is exactly where he wants to be right now. He can take 5 seconds to compose himself, but he needs to go to work right now. You do not want to put all that work into the takedown for referee Gar Lyons to stand you up. He needs to be proactive. He needs to work from here. He can't just settle and rest on his laurels.
Potential head and arm choke here as well for him. I think just from my angle might be obscured from our commentary position here, but
can't quite see what he's working for. But again, he needs to land a couple of strikes or something to keep himself honest.
Garrett Lyons just giving an instruction to the fighters.
Shaun needs to get himself onto a hip and try and work into. So get on to that right hip, scoot his backside out and try and come back in.
Similar to the fight before where we had Shea Leatham. As soon as he hit the ground, he didn't accept it. He wanted to move straight away, while Shaun here has landed on the back and hasn't really tried much to better his position. This is huge here.
Big knees being landed now by McAlinden, just into the midsection of Shaun Wright.
This is exactly, if the corner wanted the third round to go, this is exactly what they would have wished for. He's doing enough work to keep Garrett Lyons, our referee, happy as well, in a good position. As we say, Phil, that anchor position allows him to control his opponent.
I would like to see McAlinden offer a little bit more offense, posture up and land strikes, but he is working to the body.
Under a minute to go in the third and final round, and you think that potentially James McAlinden is going to half guard his way to a victory here, potentially. Shaun Wright just sticks his tongue out, but
this third round's all going wrong for Wright. He needs to get himself back up. He needs to work, get to a hand, start with getting to an elbow, get to a hand, try and cage walk and get himself up. Although there may not be a lot offensively happening in this position, he's still the man on the bottom. The impetus lies with him to get back to his feet.
Yeah, he's being controlled by his opponent, and Garrett Lyons is going to stand it up. We're going to have just over 10 seconds to go here. Needs to get up and get going. We'll have less than 10 seconds when we get going, but Shaun Wright needs to land something big here.
10 seconds to go. I fully expect to see Wright completely empty the tank right now. Alinden saying, let's go. Both men in the middle of the cage.
And you've got to think that James McAlinden in that third round could have sealed it for him. Big takedown. As we said, it was a takedown through momentum. We can see the calf kicks on Shaun Wright paying dividends again, and it's just a tool. It's almost like every now and again we get a new tool in MMA. George St. Pierre against Koscheck. Yeah. Oh, we can jab now? So it's just insane how the sport evolves and this tool comes around and how it's stopped, and how do you stop a calf kick and causing the detrimental damage that it is to all these fighters.
Money Mac with the hands in the air believes he's done enough to win the fight. Show of respect from both men. For I believe the fourth time tonight we are going to the judges' scorecards.
Appreciation for both fighters. At the 2-round of action, we go to a different scorecard. Also with the service bout 29-28. For your winner, in a unanimous decision, fighting out of the blue corner, James please show your appreciation, short notice fight for Shaun Wright.